Hey, Riddle here. Welcome back to my channel. I have not posted in a while, but it is my favorite time of year. It's Halloween! And what I want to show you is how to make great Halloween decorations really cheap. And I think we're all on a budget this year. We're all really bored. So this was just a bunch of old sheets that were going to crap. You know, ask your friends or hit up the garage sales or the thrift stores, and you can't have enough sheets. See the big eye in the center here? That came from the dollar store. 2 for $1. Some magic marker, some little googly eyes, and some fishing line. And look what the fingers are made from. Sticks. Now you could paint those if you wanted to get really elaborate, and all that is in there is a big long stick. Inside that head is bubble wrap. So I took a big wad of bubble wrap, put it in a plastic bag, put it inside of my sheet, tied it off with a wire. That was the head. Glued on my eye with some hot glue, painted on the face with some magic marker, connected that to my stick with the hands on the ends, again with some wire, got creative with the hot glue gun and the sheets, and look at that amazing phantom. Now, all over my property, I have different variations of these phantoms hanging up in the trees. Another thing you can do, along with using just that stick technique, so getting the proportions, you can extend the arms a little bit longer because it makes it look a little more spooky, or just stay true to the anatomy. Imagine if the head is life size, like the size of your head, and then put out your arms and measure the sticks to the same measurements you would the length of your arms. And then just center the head where that stick is. So you can see this stick was bent, gave it kind of a shoulder appearance. On the ends, again, these came from the dollar store, these skeleton hands, and that mask came from the dollar store. So using some hot glue and some wire, it was the same technique. I used wadded up plastic bags and bubble wrap for the head. I tied it off with some wire really tight. Then I connected that to the stick in the center. I glued my hands on the sides, and then constructively just draped these old sheets and old curtains over the stick, and then added some hot glue underneath. And look at that. Simple but really effective Halloween decoration. We've got another one here. This one's a little more difficult to see. It's got this nasty wig, and it's got a spooky, really spooky mask glued onto it. But again, I used the skeleton hands from the dollar store to get the creepy effect. Here's another one, and it's just about being creative. And you know, depending on your little ones, how morbid you want to get is up to you. This one is holding a head. Now, where do you get these heads from? It's a little bit late now to shop for them, but you can get them online. They're beautician. They're the heads that the beauticians practice on their hair and makeup. You may even have a friend who's a beautician that has an old one that's stuck up in her, you know, her storage somewhere. Over here, you know, you got your classic skeleton. That's kind of boring. Look up there. Isn't that creepy? So this is kind of like a Goya, where it's just this crazy pigeon mask that's been connected onto a pair of mannequin legs. And even though it seems goofy, it's really the stuff like this that spooks people out the most. So here's another phantom. And if you see, it's looking down because at this headless doll. And I collected all these dolls from the thrift store and then ripped off their heads and hung them with the bones. Mommy, help! And a little mirror, see the mirror spinning there? So that's just, you know, like making a story. Here's another collection of dollies, dismembered, hanging upside down with the bones. And I get everything from either the thrift store or the dollar store. And usually I prepare for next year. So what I do is I will, of course, go there when everything goes 50% off. Now, these are really simple. They had these at the dollar store. They're just felt skulls. But look, when you hang them in the wind, they're really spooky, and especially at nighttime when the headlights hit them or a flashlight. And they're $1 each. Or you just get one and you can use it as a pattern and make your own. I don't know which is cheaper. Here's another phantom using the Mardi Gras masks. I just find that to be a really quick fix, and it gives detail and human features, you know, without having to do all that work. But what I'm going to show you what to do today is how to sculpt with tin foil. And it's really hideous and really easy to do. And here's one example. Here's my axe murderer. Now, this is a mask I got for like $2 at the thrift store, and it's a half mask. So it actually only comes down to your upper lip. But what I did, I made the head using my technique where I use the either newspaper, or I find if you're going to do outdoor stuff, you should stick with plastic. So I did the bubble wrap in a plastic bag to get the head shape. Then I put my mask over it, and then I covered it with tin foil, and then you can spray paint the tin foil. So I used pink and black, and it looks like his bottom mouth is just rotting. Then I added this little eyeball from the dollar store, and we have ourselves a zombie axe murderer. Pretty gross. This is this is just one of those plastic disposable jumpsuits that you buy like at Home Depot when you're doing a really filthy job, and it is just stuffed full of old plastic bags and bubble wrap. Add some gloves to the sides, pair of shoes that you're going to throw out anyways, and it's pretty creepy. So then intermixed with these kind of dummies that you make, you can put some real people. And when people can't tell the difference between the two, that's your classic, haunted house anxiety maker. This is more elaborate, but this is just a mask that was at the thrift store, but he had legs and everything. So I made him this creepy pod, or she, because she's laying eggs, if you can see that. And this actually lights up. And the green things, this pot is made from, when I lived in Los Angeles, they're the big palm fronds that would just drop from the trees. And then I painted them neon green, and you just get creative. What you can do with a hot glue gun and some spray paint is amazing. So let's get back to, here's my front. This spider web came from the dollar store, and I only used half of it. And it really goes a long way. I was a little bit lazy. I need to stretch it out a little bit more. But I always believe in motion activated stuff, because that, like the delivery guide, always freaks them out. That's always good, because they're always a little bit on edge anyways when they come up to the property. A little bit constructive. Spider webs here and there. So now let's get to making something. Now, I'm not going to get really complicated today. I'm going to show you the basics. But when you're working with hot glue, you get what you pay for, meaning if you get a cheap hot glue gun, you better have a couple, because they break down really easily. So I suggest getting a better one. So you always want to have a bowl of cold water, because I gave myself one hell of a burn. A hot glue gun can really do some major damage. So you always want to have a bowl of cold water near you to dip your hand in right away if you should make contact with the glue gun or get some glue on you, which is easy to do when you're really getting into it. Spray paint. I pre-shook these for you, which I always want to give them a really good shake beforehand so your paint is mixed really, really well. We're gonna make like some kind of one-eyed something. Could be a zombie, could be a troll. Tin foil from the dollar store. Can't have enough of it. We're gonna come over here. This is garbage. I got this piece of plastic. Yep. So do you want to make it the size of a head? You got to think, are you making a baby head, a teenager head, a monster head? I say we go for a monster head. Do something a little larger. Okay. Simple as that. If you want to have more control over it, you can put a piece of string or a piece of wire on it, which will definitely help, or just, there we go, just wrap a little fishing line so it doesn't come undone while we're working. I'm a big advocate of steel wire because it just stays forever and it just gives you a lot of control. And the best steel wire you can use is the stove, they call it stovepipe wire or baling wire. And you can usually get a big wad of it at Home Depot pretty inexpensively. So we got our head. Now we're going to use our saran wrap. The cool thing about saran wrap, it really doesn't disintegrate. It's inexpensive and it looks really creepy. And you can sculpt with it. And it looks like wrinkly, hideous skin. Like my skin. So, see how quickly this is coming together? Now, what you got to think about beforehand too is, do you need a neck? Do we need to post a stick in there to form a neck while we're at this stage? Because how is this going to go down into your dummy? Or are you going to run a piece of wire down in here and then attach that, because it needs to be attached somehow. And if you want a neck to make it look more lifelike, all you have to do is take a stick, jam it in the bottom. Let me grab a stick. A stick. Jamming it in the bottom. And then just wrap the tin foil right into it. Now if your tin foil starts giving you a problem, you can always use some glue from the glue gun to stabilize it. Hopefully our glue gun should be nice and heated up already. See how this is coming together? Now luckily, because we're making a corpse or a monster, we don't have to worry about perfect anatomy. But if you want things to be creepier, the more close you are to actual human anatomy, they've proven scientifically, the more disturbing it is to people. That's why when they make cartoons, they can't make the characters too human-like, because they showed even with Avatar that if it's too human, we have this weird, suspicious, negative response to it, which is just the way we're physiologically designed. So you can see, this is the beginning of our head. So now we got to build up our features, right? We need some kind of nose. So remember, the bridge of the nose is a little higher, thinner. Look how quick this comes together. It's really... So what I'm going to do here, because we're making kind of a troll zombie thing, I'm going to flatten this on the table so we have a basic shape. But now we're going to need to use a little bit of our hot glue. This comes really quickly out of the gun. We're going to put that right in the center and give that a couple minutes to set up. And you know, I always believe that more is more. So I'm going to add a little bit more hot glue on my edges and underneath so it doesn't come off. Shit. So just like I told you, this is a cheap glue gun and it's backing up on me. So we're just going to have to do the best we can. I think there should be a law against designed obsolescence. So we have our nose, and we're going to take a tool and make big nose holes in the bottom of it. This is going to make it look more, let's see it from this angle. So we're like literally sculpting this tin foil now. See that? If we want to define those nose holes, now would be the time to spray a little black in there, because we're going to use another color on top of this. So let's give us a mouth. I think we need a more like a pronounced mouth and forehead. Keep this really simple. Again, you can get as elaborate with this as you would like, but look how quickly that happens. So again, we're going to flatten out the bottom and get some going with our hot glue. Sorry, we're having a glue. I see. This is why I usually always have two hot glue guns going. Oh, I got it. It's coming out now. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Be very, very careful not to burn yourself. It's amazing how hot that is. Okay, I'm adding our mouth. As that's setting up, I'm going to do a little more hot glue around the edges. Like I said, better safe than sorry. I'm going to add a little color to this now before I go into the green. Maybe get little cheeks too. And then I'm going to go with black inside the mouth. And again, usually this is going to be at night, but see how this is coming together? So I decided I'm not going to get really elaborate here today, because I don't want to overwhelm you. I want this to be fun. But we got our one eye, because that's all I had left, because I went crazy for Halloween this year. I'm going to make an eye socket. So this has to go down into the bridge of our nose. It's pretty good. Literally so easy. You just use your eyes and you just shape it accordingly and then hit it up with your glue. So depending on how much time you have and how into it you are, you know, we can add hair, you can add eyebrow, you can add a mustache or a beard. But right now I just want to show you what it's like sculpting with the tin foil, so you can see what an inexpensive, fun material this could be to make, you know, Halloween decorations with. So I'm reinforcing what I'm adding here with some hot glue. See, I connected that to the bridge of the nose. So we got this going on now. Now I'm gonna move my stuff to the side. Of course, I got something down here all ready to catch my paint. I've got this really good green paint. And I'm gonna give this, again, you always want to go in with your black first. I'm gonna do that inside my eye socket. Hit my nose holes up again and inside my mouth. Now again, I'm rushing this just so you get a feeling, but this is great. I made witches one year with using the tinfoil method, and it was, they were so gross. They literally looked like they were burned, like burned skin. So check it out, how it's coming along. And you saw how much time we've been here. We've only been here for 10 minutes maybe. Some people like to make their videos really long because you can do more adware and make more money that way, but I don't know. I like things to be, I'm pretty busy and I don't want my time taken up with a bunch of fluff. So you can see where the tinfoil's pulling away in some places. We'll just go into take the glue gun, we'll go in and fix those. So, let's see how this is coming along. You can put teeth in there, you know, make teeth. Just look around and see what's laying around the house. It's a great way of recycling stuff too. So we got that. And then we're gonna add one more thing. Now I wish I had some red spray paint, but I don't. I'm all out of red spray paint. You can never have enough red spray paint at Halloween. So look, I'm smashing the tinfoil around my eyeball. So there you go. Look, we have a one-eyed troll, ghoul, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not going to take up your time. Imagine putting a wig on it. Imagine putting a hat on it. Imagine spraying some blood down by the mouth. You could give it sharp teeth. You could give it red lips. Sometimes I like to make things a little cute if kids are going to be around, because it's nice to balance out the scary stuff if there's not enough scary stuff going around in the world right now with the fun stuff. So there we have it, folks. Maybe this black is really, if you can get the paint that's for metal, this is important too. Might be a little more expensive, but it's worth the money because it's going to go on the, you know, it's going to go on your tin foil and it's going to stick better. But I'm going to give you one more shot of this and show you. And that's it. It's as simple as that, and you can make anything from the tin foil. It's endless. I really wanted to make a devil, but I don't have any red spray paint. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box. I'm going to be showing, maybe I'll do a phantom video to show you exactly how you use the stick and the glue gun and the wire to make those hanging phantoms. They're so fun and so cheap and easy. All right, thank you. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe, share, and like, and take care of yourselves and take care of each other, because I believe how we treat each other on the streets, woo, it's Halloween, is our ultimate reality. Bye for now.